Hello, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We welcome ourselves once again to another episode of our Golden Words. I pray it's been interesting so far. Inshallah, today we are going to take another set of verses of poem, another set of abiyat. And today's section is going to be about love. It's going to be about love. Poems written about love, how people express their love. I think this is just a tip of the iceberg, a little bit of it. So we just get what we call malmah. We just get a feel of it, a touch of how they've expressed love, in what forms they've done it. Okay. For every poet, writing about love becomes very essential. When you pick a collection of poems of every poet, you go around it and realize definitely they will write about that emotion, love. And so we try to get ourselves used to it and know the style and how Arabs have presented their how they felt their love. And so we're going to take some pieces of them. We are taking our first two from Qais ibn al-Mulawah, and this is the man that is referred to as Majnun Layla. Majnun Layla is the similitude of Romeo. We have Majnun Layla, and then Layla al-Amiriya, being the Juliet in this case. Okay, so Majnun, when you see a poem written by Qais ibn al-Mulawah or Majnun Layla, mostly all his love poems are about Layla al-Amiriya. Okay. And he's called Majnun, but this Junun here is not madness. It's where he has got into in his emotions. His emotions got him lost, and so he was referred to as Majnun. Not that he was mad. Okay. And again, it was said that he grew up with her, and then they have been together for a long while, so he felt for her. He built this emotion for her. But when he requested to marry her, he was denied. Majnun Layla was denied Layla al-Amiriya. So he couldn't marry her. And so this set him off. He started becoming a philosopher, a poet, writing poems, deep poems, expressing his emotions. And among it is what we are going to see today. It was said that once he will be seen in Najd, once he will be seen in Sham, once Syria, and he was seen around gallivanting everywhere like that. And he will cast himself out into the wild, just trying to observe some seclusion with his emotions, and all the while he was carving poems. Some have also gone to say that this personality never existed. There are those who have that. So if you come about people who are saying that Qais ibn al-Mulawah is not a personality that existed, they are also in the literature school of thought. Some feel it's just created. Okay, so his poem you are looking at, the first one, he says, لو كان لي قلبان لعشت بواحد. If I had two hearts, I would have lived with one. وأفردت قلبا في هواك يعذب. And I will set aside the other heart in your desire being punished. So it's like this desire is punishing him, as I've just explained. He was denied the love of his life, and it turned him into a poet. And so what happened was that he was saying he was going through a lot, and he was saying this one heart that he has is not alone for him to carry this suffering. He needs, if he had another heart, he would have set that heart to suffer the emotion, and then he will live with the other. So he says, لو كان لي قلبان لعشت بواحد وأفردت قلبا في هواك يعذب. أفردت, I will single out. He will take out the other heart. في هواك, hawa is desire. في هواك يعذب, being punished. He says, لكن, but then لي قلبا, I have just one heart. تملكه الهوى. لكن لي قلبا, but I have just one heart. تملكه الهوى. This desire has engrossed it, or has encompassed it. This desire has taken over it. It has soaked it. تَمَلَّكَهُ الْهَوَى. The desire has owned it. The one heart that I have has been owned by this desire or this love. لَلْعَيْشُ يَحْلُو لَهُ. Its life is not being cool for it. Life is not sweet for it. Because the desire has taken it over, it is not able to enjoy life. وَلَا الْمَوْتُ يَقْرَبُ. Neither does death draw any closer. So now he's not enjoying life, and death is also not drawing any closer. لكن لي قلبا تملكه الهوى لا العيش يحلو له ولا الموت يقرب. Then he says, he's going to give us an example of it. Mostly they like to do this a lot. They will give you some what they are feeling, or they will give you the situation, and then they will give a similitude of it, or they will liken it to a practical situation that you can relate. So he says, كَعُصْفُورَةٍ. Usfura is bird. This small base. كَعُصْفُورَةٍ فِي كَفِّ طفل. Like a bird in the hands or in the palm of a child. يُهِينُهَا. This child is dealing with this bird with disregard. From ahana. Ahana, I زُرْتُكَ وَأَهَنْتَنِي. I visited you and you disregarded me. You treated me with disrespect. Ahana, to disrespect. Or to treat with disregard. So he's likening his heart in the desire or in the love he had for Layla, what he is feeling currently, as the situation of a bird in the hands of a child. And this child is treating the bird badly. تُعَانِي عَذَابَ الْمَوْتِ. This bird, this Osphora, is suffering the punishment of death. It's feeling so much pain, it feels like death. تُعَانِي عَذَابَ الْمَوْتِ. As the child is playing with it with disregard, playing with the wings and all that, this bird is suffering to death. And he says, وَالطفل يلعب. And this child doesn't know what's up. He's just playing. You get a picture. His heart in the love of Layla is like a bird in the hands of a child. This child is treating the bird with disregard, maltreating it. Yuhinuha, maltreating the bird. And this bird, Tu'ani, is suffering Adhab al-Mawti, the punishment of death. وَالطِّفْلُ يَلْعَبُ. Whilst the child is just playing. He doesn't know what he's even doing. He says, فَلَالطِّفْلُ ذُو عَقْلٍ. The child is not one who has sense. يَرِقُّ لِحَالِهَا. Such that he will feel for the situation or for the condition of the bird. يَرِقُّ, I to feel tender, to act tender. So this child is not ذُو عَقْل. He doesn't have sense such that he will feel tender towards the condition of the bird. وَلَا الطَّيْرُ مَطْلُوقُ الْجَنَاحَيْنِ فَيَذْهَبُ. And neither is the bird free, having مَطْلُوقُ الْجَنَاحَيْنِ. When we say مَطْلُوق, free, that has been released. And he says the child is not having sense such that he will feel for this bird and act tender towards it. And this bird also is not matluqul janahain. Janahain is the two wings. It's not freed of its wings such that fayadhabu, he to go. So he now has one heart, suffering in the love of Layla. Layla doesn't even know what she is doing to Majnun, and Majnun is not free of this desire such that he can find his way and walk away. Okay, this is the end of the first caption. It says, لو كان لي قلبان لعشت بواحد وأفردت قلبا في هواك يعذب لكن لي قلبا تملكه الهوى لا العيش يحلو له ولا الموت يقرب كعصفورة في كف طفل يهينها تعاني عذاب الموت والطفل يلعب فلا الطفل ذو عقل يرق لحالها ولا الطير مطلوق الجناحين فيذهب. This ends the first one. The second is also from him. It's also from the same Qais ibn al-Mulawah, Majnun Layla, our Romeo today. He says, ألست وعدتني يا قلب أني إذا ما تبت عن ليلى تتوب. He's speaking with his heart. ألست وعدتني. Did you not promise me Ya qalbu, oh dear heart, oh my heart, anni, that I, إذا ما تبت, if I should repent, and Layla, I should go back, I should go off Layla, tatubu, you also go back. If I should go off my emotions for Layla, you, my heart, will also go back. We had that promise. Faha ana ta'ibun, here I am. With my mind, I want to leave this desire. Faha ana ta'ibun an hubbi Layla, here I am wanting to leave or leaving the love of Layla. Fama laka kullama dhukirat tadhubu. So what is wrong with you that whenever she is mentioned, you go dissolving? When Layla is mentioned, all of a sudden you lose yourself. There was a promise between himself and his heart. His heart has gone on a deal with him that if you're able to overcome this desire, me, your heart, I will also overcome mine and leave it, go off it. And then he says, Faha ana ta'ibun, here I am, I have gone off it. I don't want to love Layla again. Faha ana ta'ibun an hubbi Layla. And he says, Fama laka kullama. So what is wrong with you that always, kullama, whenever, dhukirat, she is mentioned, tadhubu, you melt. Wama laka qad حننت لوصل ليلى. And what is wrong with you that you feel desirous, you feel nostalgic towards connecting with Layla again? وما لك قد حننت لوصل ليلى. You are feeling nostalgic already over the meeting of Layla. You are missing it already. وكنت حلفت أنك لا تؤوب. And you had sworn, حلفت, you had sworn, you had promised that you will never return. تؤوب from Aba. Aba يؤوب. You've promised that you will not return. بلى قد عدت. Indeed, you have returned. Ya قلبي إليها, oh dear heart, to her. You've returned to her. You've broken the promise. فهذا الدمع منسكب صبيب. Because these tears I'm seeing now, there is a stage in love as drawn by, it's not everybody who gets to experience it, but from people who have written about love and all that, there is a stage in love where you are able to picture yourself. You'll be there feeling so much pain, and then you're able to picture yourself before you, and you'll be speaking to yourself. So what is wrong with you? Why can't we just leave this emotion and be free? Why you'll be talking to yourself? We call from them they say we call it tajreed. Tajreed is cloning. When you can clone one of your own self, you clone yourself such that you can see yourself and you can see how love has beaten you down, and you'll be talking to yourself. So why do you watch love to drill you like this? Why can't you live it? That stage is there. So it is like this stage that he's in. So he is speaking with his heart. They went on a deal. They signed a contract. But the heart has betrayed him. Says, Bala qad utta ya qalbi ilayha. Indeed, you've returned, oh dear heart, to Layla. فهذا الدمع منسكب. Because these tears that is flowing, منسكب, flowing from insekeba to flow. He says Sabibu. Sabibu here, Sabib is the name for sweat, perspiration and all that. But Sabibu here has something to do with sub, desire, or somebody who is in love. فَهَذَا الدَّمْعُ مُنْسَكِبٌ صَبِيبٌ. This tears that is flowing in forms of love. يُخَبِّرُ أَنَّمَا الْأَشْواق نَارٌ. It informs that desires, أشواق نار, is a fire. وتحت النار, and under this fire, أضلاع, أضلاع, the plural of dila, rib. أضلاع تذوب, and under this fire there is some ribs that are burning. So desires, his tears informs him that desire, this love is a form of fire, and under this fire it is somebody's ribs or somebody's body that is melting under, suffering under. So this is how he paints it for us here. Okay, so let's just, I think there is this other short one that we can just add here. There is a contention on this. Some have said that it is from Tayyib al-Mutanabbi, one of the amazing maestros of Arabic poetry. He writes and you can't even understand is it Arabic or not. You end up realizing it's Arabic. He has been known for writing amazing lines. Mutanabbi, some said is for him. Some have also said is for Ali ibn al-Jahm or something like that. And this poem was sung by one lady called Fire Yunan or something like that. And when she sang it, it became popular, and she said it was from one of these authors, and she twisted the words and all that. So there is a bone of contention as to who is the author. But it's a very beautiful poem with very beautiful lines. Those who said it's not from Mutanabbi are not really attacking or going against Mutanabbi. They are actually praising him. They are saying that the depth of meaning in the poem is not really so deep. Mutanabbi writes deep stuff. Okay. So it says, أبلغ عزيزا في ثنايا القلب منزله. He says, inform a dear one, في ثنايا القلب منزله, in the depth of the heart. Thanaya from thaniya. Thaniya can be the exception, the special, and thaniya can be the depth. If I say thaniyatul kalam, I bimana dakhil al kalam. Okay, so it says, أبلغ عزيزا, inform a dear one, في ثنايا القلب منزله, that he has a place of residence in the depth of the heart. أني وإن كنت لا ألقاه, that even if I do not meet him, I meet him. If we do not meet in person, we meet. Yani, we meet from emotions. We connect from emotions, from thought. And he says, وَإِنَّ طَرْفِيَ مَوْصُولٌ بِرُؤْيَتِهِ. Tarf is the sight. And that my sight, مَوْصُولٌ بِرُؤْيَتِهِ, is connected with his seeing. My sight is connected with his seeing. So always my eye, he is the image in front of me. Mawsul, connected. He says, وَإِن تَبَعَدَ أَنْ سُقْنَايَ سُقْنَاهُ. And if he should be far away from my resident, his residence. Now this lines alqahu, la alqahu, alqahu, suknaya, suknahu. He's making himself and the beloved to be at one place. Meanwhile, they are not. But he is trying to inform us that through the connection of the heart, connection of emotions, it puts them together. وَإِن تَبَعَدَ عَنْ سُكْنَايَ سُكْنَاهُ. If you should stay far away, if you should even be away from my place, he will be at his place. And he is trying to inform us that they connect wherever they are, wherever he is, it is his place. Wherever the author is also, is the place of the beloved. And he says, يَا لَيْتَهُ يَعْلَمُ أَنِّي لَسْتُ أَذْكُرُهُ. How I wish that the beloved knows that I do not remember him. يَا لَيْتَهُ يَعْلَمُ أَنِّي لَسْتُ أَذْكُرُهُ. How I wish the beloved knows that I do not remember him. This is weird, kind of, but let's see. It says, وَكَيْفَ أَذْكُرُهُ. And how do I remember him? إِذْ لَسْتُ أَنْسَاهُ. When I do not forget him. You remember when you forget. But he is saying that he wants the beloved to know that he does not remember him. And he not remembering him is because he does not forget him at all. And he says, Ya man tawahhama anni lastu adhkuruhu. Oh, you the one who is imagining that I do not remember him. Wallahu ya'lamu anni lastu ansahu. And Allah Almighty knows that I do not forget him. It happens even today, like you've forgotten about me, you've dogged me. People have that expression. Meanwhile, perhaps, though you've been captured by a lot of schedules here and there, but in your mind, all these beloveds are available. Every moment you are thinking about the beloveds. Just that the connection of words and stuff are not there. But always, you are mawsulun. You are connected. Okay. And he says, tawahama means to imagine, to be thinking of something that is not real. Ya man tawahama anni lastu adhkuruhu, wallahu ya'lamu anni lastu ansahu. And he says, in gaba anni farruhu maskanu. If he is away from me, the soul is his residence. In gaba anni farruhu maskanu. If he should stay away from me, the soul is his residence. Man yaskunu ruhu, ay man yaskunu ruha, kayfa al-qalbu yansahu. The one who lives in the soul, how does the heart forget him? Now, this people have used this line a lot. من يسكن الروح من يسكن الروح كيف القلب ينساه. Whoever stays in the soul, how does the heart forget him? You see how deep they talk about the beloved, how they go picturing it, they go far in it. This is just a tip of the iceberg. From time to time, you come to see how some go very severe. And when you read the lines, when you are trying to understand literature, when you read it, allow yourself into it. Some read literature, I don't like literature and all that. No, you have to allow yourself and try to open your mind, imagine things, try to imagine the reality of it. Though they are words and they've happened long ago, written long ago, try to imagine how realistic it is. Maybe you are not opportune to feel that kind of emotions, but then somebody has felt it and recorded it for you. There is this book of Ibn al-Hazm al-Andalusi, طوق الحمامة. In طوق الحمامة, he explains that the ways and means people fall in love and the types of love and all that. And it will amaze you to know that somebody even dreams, sees a person in dream and falls in love with that person he saw in the dream and starts walking around searching for the person. So if you can understand a bit of Arabic, you can search for Tawqul Hamama on YouTube. There is a movie on it that you can watch and it will give you an idea of this. All this open up our minds to know that the world is too large. That is why literateurs like to explore. They like to walk around the beach, walk around places, trying to think so wide, so that you can be able to write something. At least, if you are not even able to write, be able to appreciate literature. It helps so much in understanding this beautiful language of ours, which is Arabic language, and it helps so much actually in building yourself, becoming a writer or becoming something like that. Okay, so I will read this bait again. ألست وعدتني يا قلب أني إذا ما تبت عن ليلى تتوب فها أنا تائب عن حب ليلى فما لك كلما ذكرت تذوب وما لك قد حننت لوصل ليلى وكنت حلفت أنك لا تؤوب بلى قد عدت يا قلبي إليها فهذا الدمع منسكب صبيب يخبر أنما الأشواق نار وتحت النار أضلاء تذوب. Then the last one he says أبلغ عزيزا في ثنايا القلب منزله أني وإن كنت لا ألقاه وإن طرفي موصول برؤيته وإن تباعد عن سكناي سكناه يا ليته يعلم أني لست أذكره وكيف أذكره إذ لست أنساه يا من توهم أني لست أذكره والله يعلم أني لست أنساه إن غاب أني فالروح مسكنه من يسكن الروح كيف القلب ينساه. So this brings us to the end of this episode. Till we meet again in the next episode. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ramadan Mubarak. Salam.